importance of positive work culture cannot be overstated. A healthy work culture fosters or helps you improve your productivity. You become even more creative. You keep yourself motivated all the time, or you're always motivated at work. And it also keeps your happy index high when you are going at work, whether it's any company that you've joined, you are loving the organization and you're loving the people around you at work. On the other hand, toxic work environment can be very detrimental, leading to a lot of stress. You feel burnout all the time. And we often see that people join the organizations and leave very quickly because of the toxic work environment. So the turnover of employees is very, very high in such companies which has toxic work environment. Recognizing these red flags of toxic work environment is important for your well-being and for your career growth. By understanding these warning signs, you can actually take very proactive steps. You can take steps early on when you're seeing these red flags to improve your workplace and foster collaboration and a productive work environment. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia, your host and companion on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. And today I'm going to be sharing with you top 7 red flags that you need to be watchful of. Watch out for these red flags if you see any, and take adequate steps to ensure that you don't feel stressed out, you don't feel burnout, or you don't feel very demotivated, and then see what can be done if you find these red flags at your organization, wherever that you're working. Let's get started with our today's episode. But before that, please consider subscribing if you've still not subscribed to my channel, as every Thursday I bring new episodes. So don't forget to turn on your notification bell as well. Grab your cups of coffee and let's start our episode. Work occupies a very crucial and a significant part of our lives. Half of our day, rather more than half of our day, goes at our workplace. There are people who work 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, and there are people who even work more than that. So more than half of your day is going at your workplace. And that's the reason the quality of your workplace impacts your well-being also. Unfortunately, not all the corporates, not all the organizations have a very encouraging, healthy, and a nurturing work environment. What's more, many people don't even realize the toxic patterns that exist within their workplace. So let me share with you what are these red flags that you need to be watchful of. The first one is micromanagement. If you feel that you're being constantly watched, your senior or your manager is constantly after you. Have you done this job? How far have you reached? The manager is sitting on your head, is asking you like 10, 20 times in a day, what is the progress of a task that is being given to you? That is micromanagement. You're not getting the freedom, you're not getting the flexibility to do your work in a more organized manner if you want to do it. Or maybe you want to try a different approach to do that job. You are not getting that freedom. You're not getting that breathing space from your manager, and he's always on your head. Where were you? Even if you stepped out for a cup of coffee, or you stepped out for generally, there was a call which came from a customer or from another team member from another department. But when you come back on your seat, your manager comes rushing out at you and saying that, you're always on your phone. What are you talking? You're utilizing your official hours to actually call your personal friends or your family members. So he is or she is always on to you. And no matter what you do, your work is very heavily scrutinized at every little stage. Or you're given a very detailed instruction for even a smallest of the job that is given to you. You've been given like a lamba chauda bhashan diya hai aapko with everything that you need to do, step by step, that you have to follow to do that task. Now, on one side, getting a detailed information of what the task is and how you're supposed to do it, it's good. But when people start explaining that task as if, you don't know your job description was given to you. You were qualified to do this job, and hence you're working in that company, right? So the basic things, when people start or your manager starts explaining to you, getting into the details, is when, that makes you a little uncomfortable. And that also makes you feel that, your manager is not trusting you with the responsibility that is being given to you. he keeps or she keeps checking with you multiple times in a day as to how the progress has been, where are you, what are you doing, keep me informed, keep me in the loop. Now, what you can do is you can have a conversation with your manager to say that I really appreciate that you would like to be informed of every progress that is happening at work. How about I give you a weekly update of what is happening at work, or we can catch up every morning if you want for half an hour and I can update you what's been happening around. I can meet you in the morning. You let me know your availability. We can do a 30-minute meeting in the morning, or we can do it in the evening and I can brief you as to what's happening instead of, because every time you are calling me, it is actually breaking the flow of my work. So if it's okay with you, I would really like to update you on what's happening. But if we can keep these update meetings at regular intervals instead of random updates being asked from me, is that okay? See what is the reaction from your manager coming. If the manager is okay with it, then which means this red flag has gone from your lives. But if the manager is not okay, but he says a yes, but from the very next day, he becomes the same micromanager, then you really need to evaluate whether can you somehow manage with this, or it is really giving you a lot of stress and you're feeling a lot of burnout, and hence you want to explore maybe shifting to another department, or would you want to talk to somebody? So figure out whether this red flag is going when you're talking to your manager by saying that, can I just give you an update once in a day or once in a week? Will that work for you? Because then, having these random, unscheduled update meetings is actually giving me a lot of stress, and I'm not able to meet my deadlines, and it's taking my focus away from the work. And I'm sure you would like me to keep the productivity levels high, and I would really help if you can encourage me in this. So I think just have a dialogue with your manager and see how it goes. Either the red flag will vanish or it'll continue being there. The second red flag is very, very common: poor communication and lack of transparency. This is a very common sign that we see, which actually leads to a very toxic work culture where you're not very clear of what is expected from you, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do, what are the resources that can be made available to you to do your job. You don't receive any feedback from your manager, and neither are you acknowledged for whatever work that you're doing. The management is very unresponsive to whatever suggestions that you're making, and all this is actually leading to a lot of misunderstanding and conflicts. So here, if you want to improve this red flag, what you can do is you can seek for more information, you can seek for more clarity. You can seek for more information and clarity from your managers, from your colleagues as to what is happening around. And you can always seek for some meetings with, or you can even seek for some one-on-one meeting with your manager or with the concerned person, so that you are well in the loop of things and you have some clarity coming to you. And if that happens, then slowly, gradually, this red flag will vanish off. Now, the third red flag is when any organization has a very high turnover of employees. So people are joining and they're leaving, they're joining, they're leaving. So entry exit keeps happening of the employees that are coming in. Now, this is a very major red flag because there's something not going right in that organization. There's something not right maybe with the leadership or maybe with the policies and procedures, that employees are not very comfortable working in that organization. And let me tell you, this is a red flag even for that organization also, because if there is going to be a very high turnover of employees, that doesn't say very well of that organization as well. Like if you are shifting your jobs every few months, it's not good for your resume or it's not good for your career. Same is for the companies as well. But unfortunately and sadly, many companies don't realize as to we need to do something. We need to take some steps to ensure that the employees are happy at our workplace. The happy index is very high. Majority of the people who are leaving the organization is because of either poor leadership or toxic work culture. And here what you can do is, when the people are leaving the organization, have a one-on-one, heart-to-heart conversation with that person as to why is that person leaving. Because most of the time when people are leaving, there's a very different story given to the other team members, and the actual reason of that person leaving will be something else. Most of the time when people are leaving, all the other colleagues would be like under the impression, oh, that person got a good opportunity outside, or that person is taken some long leave because they want to study abroad, or for whatever reason. I have personally witnessed a lot of my colleagues of past organizations, they have left the organizations by saying that, I'm joining my father's business, or I have some personal problem, so I won't be able to work for coming maybe 1 or 2 years, and hence I'm leaving the organization. And the very moment that they've left, from some common friend here and there, because it's a small world, you come to know where the other person has joined, and you will come to know, and you'll be like shocked that, okay, fine, I got a very different reason. I heard that this person was going on a long leave or was joining his father's business, etc. And this person has actually picked up another job. So, which means the reason was something else. Maybe the leader was giving a tough time, or he was not able to gel within the colleagues, or there was a lot of gossip and rumors all the time happening, and that person was not able to concentrate and focus, or he was unnecessarily getting thrashed left, right, center because there was no clarity given to him. So that is also a very bad sign, as people leaving the organization very frequently. And so have a very heart-to-heart conversation with those people to figure out, why are they leaving? Actual reason. And when they tell you, please don't go around spreading rumors or gossip about it. I got to know the real reason why that person is leaving. Because if you start those rumors, then the next time another person is leaving, they'll never trust you for it. And soon you will also realize that, things are not improving. Do I need to, look at other opportunities? Do I need to maybe change my department? Maybe I'll enjoy, or I'll get some more freedom there, etc. Number 4, again, this is very, very common: unfair treatment and favoritism. When we join organizations, we all have our favorites. We like a particular colleague of ours. We don't get along with the others. We like a particular leader. The other leaders हमें बहुत खड़ूस लगते हैं. We find them very, very bossy and authoritative, and hence we want to stay away. There are some leaders that you look at them and you feel that, okay, fine, there's so much that I can learn from this person. He's always, or she's always helpful. That person has become like your mentor in the organization. But there are certain leaders, you look at them and you want to just stay away from them because they're always criticizing you in some way or the other. We see unfair treatment and favoritism happening in most of the organizations. I won't say 100%, but yes, it is certainly 90% or even more than that. Most of the organizations, they fall under this bracket of unfair treatment or favoritism. Just observe around you. You will see certain people are treated very differently. They are given a lot of preference. On the other hand, there are other people who are treated unfairly. Unequal opportunities being given to different people. During promotions, during your appraisals, you will see this red flag. So there are people who get more leverage. They get promotions very quickly, they get more incentives and more bonuses, and it's not based on the work that they're doing, neither the quantity nor the quality. So neither are they very perfect in their work, but they still get preference treatment. People are biased towards them. And more signs of this you can notice when there are certain people who are always working late, whereas there are other set of people who leave on time. They come late maybe to work, but they leave right on time. And there are other people who come early and they're like sitting late hours every day because the nature of the project that is being given to them is making them work so late, or they don't have enough resources, or they've not been given those resources that can help them at their work. Where you feel that your milestones that you've achieved are not being acknowledged, here what you can do is document your observations. And don't document the observation of other people. Document if certain things or similar things are happening with you, who is doing it, and at what time it happened. So when you're documenting these things, it's very important to note down who, when, and why it happened. And you need to put out reasons and what it made you feel, because this document will come handy when you have one-on-one meetings with some other senior leaderships, or when you have your appraisals. Then you can actually state the facts and you don't miss out on things. Also, you can actually seek for feedback from your other colleagues as to why this person is behaving with me. Whatever I do, the person is never happy with my work. And if needed, you can escalate it to the next level. And the main reason why most people do not escalate this to the next level is fear of losing your job. You don't want to come in the bad books of your manager or your boss, and hence you continue taking this unbiased and unfair treatment from your manager or your bosses. There is always escalation matrix within every organization. You can go have a casual chat with someone in HR also, take their guidance is what you can do, or speak to the leaders from another department and take your opinion as to, sir, how do I handle this person? Because I'm feeling no matter what I'm doing, it's not helping. And that's when your document will also come in picture, because the other person will say that, okay, fine, you've noted down everything. So you are being very logical and you being very reasonable about it. And if nothing works, then you look at what all options you have. You want to move on, you want to leave here and you want to join somewhere else. And then if that is the case, then you need to explore opportunities outside. The fifth red flag is when you see a lot of bullying and harassment happening at work. Now, this is very toxic. This is actually one of the top reasons as to why people leave organizations, because they are being harassed. And no matter what you wear, there are people who are making fun of the way you're looking or are dressing, or the way you walk, or the way you talk, or the way you are maintaining your work area. So people are always finding reasons to make fun of you. They don't appreciate your contribution. They are always undermining your capabilities. And most of the time, the leaders or the human resource department will actually not pay much attention to this by just saying that it's a personality conflict. But in the long run, it actually impacts not just the organization, but also the person who is facing this harassment and bullying. So if you're facing bullying and harassment, you are being called out in public, you are humiliated in public in front of other team members, and your work never gets acknowledged, but even the smallest of mistake becomes a big issue with others, then which means this is a red flag for you. You really need to talk to somebody and see if action can be taken against those people. And if you've joined a company new and it's just been like 1 month and you see these red flags happening, I think from the very first time, you should start voicing your concern. You should start seeking for feedback. You should start talking to people as to what can be done to handle that situation. Don't wait on that, okay, I'm new in the organization, let me wait for another 1 month. And soon 1 year goes by and people will then never take you seriously. There's nothing like that. These red flags, they are only to be paid attention to once you've completed 1 year in the organization, right? You should be looking out for these red flags. If you see any of these things happening with you from day one, actually you should start voicing your opinion. You should start talking to people. You should look for mentors and see how you can convert this red flag into a green flag. Now, the sixth one is poor leadership. Now, this is very, very common. This is also one of the top reasons as to why employees leave the organizations, because their bosses, their managers, their leaders give them a very hard time. They are being very unfair. They are partial. They do not acknowledge their milestones. They are always angry with them. They're never happy with whatever work that they're doing. They're always absent. Whenever you need any guidance from them, they're never there to give you any guidance or support you when you need their support. They don't recognize your work, but they don't leave a single chance to criticize you. You don't get clear directions. There is no vision. There is no interaction that you see from time to time happening with your bosses or with your leaders. Here, I would like to recommend that look at other leaders in the company. Try and approach them and say, sir, this is the issue that I'm facing. Don't go in a complaining mode and don't back bitch about that person, but just take some advice from the person that this is what I'm facing. And I really want to work with the person. I really want to learn a lot from the person, but I'm helpless. So would you be able to guide me as to how I should go about it? Seek some guidance from other leaders. But before that, I think you should looking at how you can handle this situation. Try working out with your manager first. And if that does not work, then take help from other mentors or other leaders in the company. If that also doesn't work, please go to the HR department and say, I'm not bringing in any official complaint, but I'm just trying to see how I can work more productively under his leadership or her leadership. So please guide me as to how I should be going about things. So when you're doing all of this, please note down the observations that are being given to you. And if nothing is working and this red flag continues being there, then I think you need to evaluate your options and figure out, do you want to still stick around, or you want to explore some other job opportunities, or you want to move to another department. And the last red flag that I'm sharing with you, again, very common, gossips and rumors. Spreading wrong information, negativity, speculation. All this leads to a lot of confusion among team members. For example, if one person by the name, say A, he got promoted or she got promoted. Now, B or C are very jealous of this person. So they start a rumor that this person has been promoted because the boss is very biased towards him. He always or she always gets a very preferential treatment. This promotion is not basis his hard work, but because of his good connections the person has with the boss. Or somebody will start a rumor, you know that the boss is dating this employee in the company. Haven't we all heard that? You overhear somebody talking about that the person is thinking of resigning the organization, and then you start that rumor in a big way by saying, the leadership is resigning, and the after effects of spreading such rumors can be really, really detrimental to the work environment. Because say, for example, you hear a rumor that this project or this department is being closed. Now, you suddenly will get into a panic that, okay, fine, what will happen to my career? What will happen to my job? Am I supposed to continue working? Should I go and talk to my boss or not about it? Because I've just heard this rumor, but I can't pinpoint who started this rumor. So it is not a very healthy thing to do, to spread rumors and gossip. And if you really think that, there are people around you who keep gossiping and they spread rumors, then the best is to avoid such people, or just confront them by saying that, I don't think you should be spreading such rumors. If there was any truth in it, I'm sure the person will come up front and will tell us about it. Please don't indulge into gossip and rumors. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to confront those people, I think my best is stay away from them. Because if you start enjoying the gossip and the rumors, tomorrow you might become a topic for them. This is also a red flag. So please keep open communication, seek for feedback, seek for support, plan your exit. If you want to leave the company and you want to move on, then plan how you want to do it. Do you want to start exploring? Do you want to network with other people? But that should be your last resort. So try and have a very open dialogue with your bosses or with your managers, leaders, colleagues, whosoever is giving you that red flag. And document everything, as this will help you to self-reflect as to what things are happening, how are they making you feel, can you do something about it, and if not, then what are the choices in front of you? So please make a habit of writing down everything or documenting all these things with all details. When that thing happened, who did this, what were the repercussions, and can you do something about it? On that note, we come to the end of our episode. I really hope that you found value. Please watch out for these red flags, because these red flags are somewhere around you at your workplace. So try and figure out how you can handle. And I really hope that you prosper in your careers. If there's anything else that you would like to know from me, you can leave a comment. Or if there's some other red flag that you have faced but I've not mentioned in this video, please do write it in the comments below. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.